Okay, in this lecture, we're going to be talking about other two methods from the string class, the substring and indexOf. So the substring method returns a part of the string that starts from specific index and ends at a specific index. So let's have an example. So we have a variable here of type string, str, and is assigned the value computer science. So we're gonna print, let's say, str at substring. So as you can see, there are two types here. There is one that accepts one argument, integer, that's the starting index. It doesn't tell you where to end, so by default, it's gonna go all the way to the end. And also we have the other type that accepts two arguments, both of them are integer. The first one is the starting index, and the second number or value is the ending index. But the last one, the second one, is not included. So let's have an example here. So string, let's say for example, starting from 3 and ends at 6. So this method will extract a part of this string, computer science, that starts from 3. We know that it's the string starts from 0, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3. So P is the starting point. Okay? So starting from P and then 4, 5, 6 should not be included. So there are many students who make that mistake. They include the character at index 6. It should not be included. 3, the character at index 3 should be included, but the second one should not be included. So here you're going to get P, which is index 3, 4 and 5. So only put will be returned put. So remember, E is not included. E is the character at index 6, should not be included. So try to remember that. Okay, let's have another example. So let's say we have str starting from substring. Now what about if I put, let's say, only 3? Only one argument. So here the second number is missing. That means it doesn't tell me where to end. So by default, you're going to go all the way to the end. So I'm going to start from P. It's going to say computer science, because it tells me where to start, but it doesn't tell me where to end. Okay, so that's the substring. Okay, and also make sure that the two numbers are within the are not out of bound. So for example, if you put something like this, str substring, and then you put, let's say, 10, and then you put a number that's not even there, let's say 20. So let's build a program and run it and see what we're going to get. We don't have a character at index 20. That's out of bound. So that's why you get an error. Can you see that? And that type of error is called string index out of bound. That means you choose an index that does not even exist. So we do have 10. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 is C. Okay? So the last one we should include is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 16 exists. If you put 16, okay, let me start. Put 16. So remember, 16 is not included. So it's going to stop at 15, which is E, which is the last character. So as you can see right here, it says science. Okay. But if you put 17 and up, you're going to get an error. And that error is called string index out of bounds. So make sure that the two numbers are within the limits. Okay. So now if you put, let's say, 12. So 12 is not included. So we're going to have only two characters, 10 and 11, which is C and I. Okay. Now let's move on to the next method. It's called indexOf. indexOf basically searches for a specific character or string and returns the location or the position. Okay? So let's say, for example, I put str index of, let's say it accepts both character and string. So you can use either single quote or double quote because it accepts both. Okay, so here it tells me, okay, what is the first occurrence? You may have more than one E, but it returns the location, the position of the first one, the first occurrence. So in our case, in our example, the first E is here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it should return 6. That means the position of E, of the first occurrence of E, is 6. As you can see, the return is 6. Okay? Now, what about if I'm looking for str index of and then space? What is the first? As you can see, you can use single quote, but if you choose to choose single quote, you have to have only one character because single quote accepts only one single character. When you use double quotation, double quote marks, so you can choose 1, 2, 3, any number of characters because it is a string. So what is the location of the first occurrence of empty space? So we have only one empty space, so it's going to return this location, which is 8 if we start from 0. So the space is located at index 8. Okay. Now there is another type of index of. For example, what about if I want, okay, I want the second E. We have 2, right? We have 3. So let's say I want the location of the second E. Now, by default, it returns the first occurrence. So to do that, first one, I need to know what is the location of the first one. It's going to be str index of E. Right? So that's going to give me the location of the first one. I'm going to save it in a variable called space. And then I'm going to use str index of, I'm going to look for E, but I can specify starting from where I should start searching. So here I'm going to use space plus 1. That means start searching. If I put a number here, that means start searching after the first one, because the first one is space. So plus 1, that means starting. So that's going to give me the location of the second one, because I specify what, starting from where I should start looking, because by default you start searching from 0. Now, if you add a number next to it, that's where the starting point is. That's the starting index. Let's have another example. Let's say, for example, let's see here. Okay, if I put str index of, and then I put searching for puts. Okay, and then I put, let's say, I put 5. What does it mean? It means search for puts in the string, but start searching after 5. That means any answer below 5 is just ignored. Okay. So here we know that put is here. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3, but 3 is before 5. We need to start searching after 5. That means, can you find another one after 5? So that's why here is going to return a -1. -1 means not found. That means I did not find put starting from index 5. Now, if I remove that number, it's going to return 3, because here you did not specify the starting index, so by default it's 0, so it's going to return 3. You see the difference? So if you add a number, that means that's the starting, and that's what we need to start searching from. Okay, so this is basically the substring and the index of. They are very, very important, and you will be tested on them in the AP exam. So you need to practice them a lot So this way you can master them. Okay. So thank you for watching and see you in the next